Hi, everybody. Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And today I am excited to speak with Jack of Cool Life. And we will get started very soon. And if you've missed any of my previous lives, you can check those out. TV. There we go. Hi there. Hi hi there. How are you?
Can you hear me
Lots of sunshine.
better?
Yeah, you're coming through. Yeah, you're coming through. Yeah. It's a little bit fuzzy, but you're coming through.
Fuzzy. Noise or visual?
Visual, a little visually fuzzy, but you're getting clearer.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. It helps that I cleaned the camera lens. Who knows? Seriously? Does anyone know what gets on their camera lens? I don't.
I don't know. I don't know what's on mine. I'm kind of afraid to know.
Wipe it off with your shirt, which is what I just did. Oh my, so much for the invitation, and my apologies that I'm not set up. At home, I have like a setup and the whole 9 yards, but I'm visiting my sister for the week, which I'm so excited to be here. So I'm having to wing it. So this is me winging it, but I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Jack, for taking the time, even while you're traveling. This is awesome. And I want to say hi to everybody who's joining. And please, as we go along, please put your questions and comments down below for Jack, and she'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. So what
So,
are we talking about today?
yes, so Jack, I have pinned a summary of our topics on the bottom just to kind of keep me on track. So we have lots to discuss, so I think we should just jump right in.
Okay. Well, I don't see the pinned comments, so I'm going to have to
Oh,
take.
no worries. Yeah,
Okay.
no worries. No. I have it in a little shorthand on the bottom, so no worries. So, Jack, please tell everyone why you created Cool Life. What was your mission and your goal behind Cool Life?
Well, what happened, I mean, I'm just going to be completely transparent. It was a completely selfish move to begin. It was because at like 52 and 53, at the height of, I guess now I understand in hindsight that it was the height of the transition of going from perimenopause to being a postmenopausal woman. I had, I mean, you name a symptom, I had it. And just even recently, somebody was mentioning vertigo, and
Oh, yeah.
I had vertigo too during that time, which
Oof.
I had forgotten, which is probably good. It's probably our fail safe way of sort of rewriting him to make it less evil, which is probably, there's probably some good survival instincts in there. But so what happened was going through it, like I gained 40 pounds, 30 pounds. I literally weighed what I weighed the day I gave birth to my son. So I had, and it just sort of happened. It wasn't anything. I mean, exercise, don't exercise, eat just protein, don't eat just eat fat, whatever, drink wine, stop drinking wine, more, sleep less. It didn't matter what I did. And then I had all the other stuff too, like brain fog, and just, I couldn't regulate my emotions, you name it. And when I started to look for help, everything that I saw out there was just disempowering. And a lot of messaging of that I was disappearing, that I was becoming irrelevant, that I was, I needed to be quiet, visible, and my time had passed. And sure, I had lived this incredibly bright colored life. And I had an opinion, but it didn't really matter anymore. And I couldn't see women in media, in print, or anything that resembled me using products that I use, right? And so it felt like I went from mini skirt to depends. And I don't understand. Like, why mini skirt to depends? Like, what happens to that big block of time where maybe you're not wearing a mini skirt anymore? Because whatever. but you're also not incontinent. And there's a huge block of time where you live in that space. And you know what? It also turns out to be the best space I've ever been in. Like, I don't give a flying F anymore. As you get older, trust other people, you're really finding your own stride. And, you know, it just, and now with my kid left. So what I realize is that even though we all want to age, because the alternative is really kind of, you know, none of us want to pass away anytime soon, right? We all have plans, and but we don't, but aging is just, there's such a stigma.
Yeah.
Not globally, mind you, but in at least North America, right? In this on this continent, and I think for our Canadian sisters, you know, aging is just not viewed in a very powerful or positive light. And everyone with any luck does it. And every other, more than every other person, because women outnumber men, goes through that physiological change in life.
Yeah.
So why don't we know about it? Why aren't we sharing about it? Why isn't it? And at the end, and I'm like bearing the lead, what you asked me, and they could have said it in 3 words. I want to normalize aging. That's why. All of the things, all of the opportunity, because great opportunity, all the opportunities and the obstacles that come up, right? Because you've got aging parents. You've got, if you decide your babies are leaving the nest. And that's really traumatic and sad to some people. It also can be very liberating.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't want women to be out there, you know, in their own grief about, you know, having their babies, you know, leave the nest, which good for you, mama. You did it right.
Yeah. Well, they might come back though. They might come back.
I hear they always come back. So I'm thinking about changing the locks, but I don't.
No.
I hear morning. I run a Second Act Sisters room in Clubhouse Mondays and Wednesdays at noon, and we were having the discussion on children leaving the nest, and a woman shared that's a little bit older than I am and they're a little bit older, and she's like, "Yeah, Jack, they come back," and I'm like, okay, if you say so. I want to make it normal whether I'm happy or whether I feel devastated he's gone.
Yeah.
And I want to share that and learn from other women and not have to carry that burden alone. Or celebrate with other women who are feeling the same way. Good riddance. I get my life.
Yeah, you can turn their room into a gym or something, you know?
Right? So that, honestly, that was my sole impetus, is that and I know I can't do it alone. I can't normalize aging all by myself, but I sure can with your help and you know, all of the women that follow you and that are part of your community. If we all get together and combine forces, I mean, I call Cool Life the collective power of women, because I'll tell you, our collective power is unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I hope
that was awesome. No, that was awesome, Jack. And we're gonna get to the community in a moment, but I'm curious to know, why did you choose to call your community Cool Life and to spell it Kuel?
Okay, so I always fancied myself as someone who had been living this pretty awesome, cool life, COOL, just the normal everyday spelling of it. And that was what I was worried about. I was worried that I wasn't going to get to be cool anymore, that I was, you know, gonna just be thrown out to pasture and overlooked, and that I just couldn't be cool. And I'm like, that is bullshit. Whatever. Maybe I'm not block your video. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening to me.
Yeah.
I really wanted to bring the concept of cool, but COOL is too common, and COOL Life was taken, the URL. So I started poking around Urban Dictionary. I found the word AUEL as a synonym for COOL, and I'm like, okay. And when I researched it, it wasn't taken. No one had been using it. So I grabbed onto it, and I love it. I'm really glad.
I
You know,
love that. I did not even know that. Next time I should just Google something before, because that is so cool. I love that it's another, it's an alternative to the COOL. I love that.
right, right, yeah. According to
Awesome.
Urban, so you
Oh
have
yeah, yeah, yeah. Urban is always correct.
right. You have to be a little cool to go to Urban Dictionary to find
Yes.
to see how it all ties in.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Please put your questions and comments down below for Jack, and she'll be happy to answer. And thanks for joining. And while we wait for questions and comments, let's go to our topic of community benefits. Can you tell us a little bit about the benefits that women receive when they join Cool Life? Thank you.
I'm happy to. Yeah. So I one of the things I wanted to do, because I know this bothers me, and once again, I literally built this solution to address my personal needs. But of course, I did a lot of market research, right?
Yeah.
Conversation with women to see, like, okay, am I so weird or unique that these are the things that are bothering me, but nobody else seems to be bothered? I don't like to see a lot of ads on sites, especially if I'm looking for um, you know, sort of real information, like, okay, what am I going to do with these hot flashes? Or, I need help with, budgeting or money, or I'm getting divorced. When I was researching real topics that were bothering me and I'd see all these ads, first of all, I would click on weird, really irrelevant links and end up God only knows where, and missing out on the, but it also made it seem like the content, like, can I really trust this individual, or is this individual telling me this because someone is paying? It's a pay for play, right? So I really wanted to keep the platform ad free so that women weren't struggling with that. So I turned it into a membership platform, but I didn't want it to be a barrier to entry. Like, I didn't want the cost to for any woman to go, oh God, I can't afford this. So that's why I made it. And everyone, like, I made it only $4.99 a month, right? I mean, it's less than a cup of coffee, and we're talking like a black cup of coffee, not even with cream or sugar. And on top of the ad-free content, we have lots of member-only content, exclusive member content, wonderful things like downloadable guided meditations, downloadable breathwork videos. I have a couple of women who are amazing with both of these areas. That's their area of expertise. And they provide these downloadable, exclusive opportunities for members. So they get that. And also ebooks. My experts write ebooks with additional information. So that's also available. The other thing that's available is I have a directory, a business directory. So women can put, if they've written a book, or they have a podcast, or they have their coaching services. I get a lot of entrepreneurs, because that's the other thing that happens at this stage of life, is that a lot of women start businesses after 50. And I wanted a place where we could bring those women together so that we could see them in a collective platform, and support them, and also gain from their experience and expertise, because they're there to serve us. So you can put your information in the business directory if you're a member. You also, because I put a curated shopping experience together where I brought in all these women entrepreneurs that I've been meeting, I put in together into a shopping experience, so we can purchase with a purpose. Meaning, when we buy something from one of those, and these women, and the stuff is amazing. A lot of it is like made to order, or handmade, or just unique and
Mhm.
different. And so it's not made in China and delivered on the Amazon Prime truck in 10 minutes, but you're making a difference, and you're voting with your
Mhm.
book and shopping small. So it's a little bit like going to an art festival, virtual art festival. I guess it's like a micro Etsy. Like, Etsy makes me a little crazy, because if I look for something, there's like 1,000 choices, and that's a little too.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. My ADD won't let me make a decision. So I also wanted it to
Yeah.
be, less choices, less Chinese,
Yeah.
or like, here's the, what I got at the farmer's market today,
Yeah.
choose
Yeah.
smaller menu. I find that to be easier for me. And I've gone and curated all. I just started choking on my own. I'm sorry.
No
My
worries.
saliva went down the wrong way. Does that ever happen to you? And you're like,
Oh, I hate
my own,
that.
I wasn't even eating or drinking anything. I was just living. And all of a sudden, yeah. So I think I've covered, you get the member exclusive, ad free. Oh, also, I started doing these events, right? And we are taking 9 women to Tuscany, Italy in May. Oh, I am so excited. 9 women. We're going to be staying at this vineyard farmhouse, like 650 acres with olive trees and grapes, and we're going to have someone come in and teach us how to cook an Italian meal, and they're going to cook for us. And it's 9 of us in this farmhouse. There's only 3 slots left. So you get first dibs on those kinds of events. And we will be doing a lot more travel events because the more I talk to women, women want to get out there and they don't necessarily want to go alone, and not everyone has a partner who's willing or able to go, right? If their partner is like a big muckety muck corporate exec or whatever, and they can't really take that kind of time off, and they don't want to go alone, so don't have to go alone. And you know what it's like. I mean, we'll go in not knowing each other. We will leave best friends because that's how that rolls. So I think I covered it all. Oh, and the other thing I forgot, I do a member moment newsletter every 2 weeks. So if a member has something that they believe would be beneficial to the community, then I put it in there. I put it in the newsletter because I am in my interest is in normalizing aging and spreading the information, not keeping it all to myself. So if there are opportunities like a new cool podcast that women our age should really be listening to, or an amazing.
That's awesome, Jack. And I my next topic, my next question was going to be the membership program. No, no, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good, good. Okay, awesome. So the membership program, you did mention the cost per month. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about like the two, I guess the three options that you have, like monthly, 6 months, and 1 year? Maybe
Yeah,
that would be helpful as well.
sure. Like I said, it's $4.99 a month. However, I have been coached out of that $4.99 at the end of the year. My I I'm in this program with Haley Foster, and if anyone is interested in this program, it is life changing. It's a 12-week program where she really coaches you along. And one of the things that she coached me out of was the $4.99 monthly membership that's going to go up. But anyone who locks in that rate by the end of the year will stay there forever. I mean, I'm looking at that as like a founder's rate. I'm like, if you're willing to join this community where I'm still building it, and maybe I don't have as many perks as would be ideal, but you got to start somewhere. And it's sort of like, which comes first, right? The chicken or the egg. So anyone who's willing to get on this ride with me, get on it for $4.99. And if you buy the whole year, I give you 2 months free. So like you're locked in for the whole year for $49.90. And that's it though. If you do it by December 31st, doesn't matter how big we get, doesn't matter how much member exclusive content we have, it doesn't matter how many trips we end up taking, doesn't matter. You will always be locked in at that rate. So yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right. And then in terms of the way that people join and the way that they contribute, I guess it's more on the contribute side now. If you could expand a little bit, please, on how do your members contribute to the community?
Some of my members are they're on the roster of the thought leaders. I call them cool category experts. So some women are there and they're money experts, or divorce experts, or sex. I like a couple of women who talk about sex, because sex is really important, and it can be it could be a bigger deal for women as we age. And so yeah, the so a lot of the members also are part of my industry thought leaders, or part of my curated shopping experience, because they have a product or a book, and so they're part of that. And that's just a conversation. If they have deep expertise in a topic that's relevant to our community, why would I want to keep them quiet?
Totally.
I wouldn't want to keep them quiet. I want to
Yeah.
for them to reach the women with those messages, because we're better off. And here's the deal, right? So I have 4 different women that talk about money, and one could say, okay, why do you need 4 different women to talk about money? They have 4 different viewfinders, and they come at it from 4 different perspectives. And so you might not resonate with Joy, but then Karen's article comes up, and you're like, oh, this totally jives, because she comes from more a spiritual background, where Joy is my lawyer, so she comes at it from a very pragmatic, nuts and bolts, so I want, what I'm working on is putting together this roster, because we're more similar than dissimilar, but we also respond to messages slightly differently, and different perspectives just enrich us. And so that's how that works. And that's why when I first started the platform 2.5 years ago, I was the sole contributor, right? Which I can't even. So basically, there was like an article a week, because that was all I could handle, because I had to do all the research. I had to figure it out. But now I will end 2021 with 50 different, I know, industry thought leaders. 50. Yeah.
Congratulations. Brava to you and your contributors. That's amazing. And I have browsed your website and I was super impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to dig into this deeper. So I just want to applaud you. And I really love that you take on different perspectives, because each woman has her own unique experience, and it's based on that experience that she brings a different set of perspectives, and also her education, her background, et cetera, et cetera. So I really like that. Even though you have, one could think, oh yeah, well, there are 4 experts in a particular field, but they all have their own angle. They're all coming at it from a different angle. So I really like that.
And I'm a believer in like the way my brain functions is, if I'm working on a problem, I will ask many different people their opinion, and then I'll use that information to come up with what feels me. But I guess I'd rather have the data, I'd rather have the information. My viewfinder is that a lot of our community would rather have access to the information, the different viewfinders, the different perspectives. And we talk about some tough subjects, right? We talk about aging parents and divorce and dry vaginas. I mean, we talk about topics that, a lot of people would cringe or say, why are you talking about that? But once again, if we talk about it, we will normalize it. And if we normalize it, it takes away the stigma. And and I want to do it for us that we're in midlife currently. But just as important, I want to make it so that our younger sisters, our granddaughters, our nieces, don't have to deal with that when they get here. That they look forward to aging, that they're not stressed out about that first wrinkle, or,
or a gray hair,
right? Oh, and that we empower one another to age the way we want to, right? So if you don't want to color your hair, more power to you, and there will always be room at the table, at my table, for you. And I choose clearly to color mine, because this comes out of like 3 different bottles. This isn't even color found in nature, but it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so Talita says I want more gray hair. Girl,
Yeah.
I have get it. I can't you get more gray hair by the hairdresser? You have some blue hair. I can't imagine gray. I've seen some younger women,
Yeah.
gray chunks, and I'm wondering how they get that. Do they bleach
Yeah.
that, add gray on top? I don't even know how you get that, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I think for some people it's like a fashion statement too. So yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you're definitely discussing some super important topics. And ageism is real. It's real. And I love that you were trying to, be forward thinking and helping younger women be less afraid of aging. So even if a woman is 30, she might be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid to turn 40. I'm so afraid to turn 50.
Right.
And the way you're doing it, you are sending out that message, that, spark to say, no, 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 it's okay. Don't worry about it. Relax. You'll get there and it'll be fine.
Well, it's not even that it's okay. It's pretty awesome. I'm way happier. And, I almost feel like I'm aging backwards because there's a sense of empowerment and that self-discovery. And that, it takes a lot to bother me now. It takes, I don't even know. I don't want to challenge the universe or challenge anyone on your IG, but it takes a lot to get under my skin. It really does.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
I know what track I'm on.
Yeah.
I know what I bring to the table. I also know that it's not for everybody, but that's okay.
Yeah. But definitely a sense of self-worth, self-confidence. You've kind of, gotten over some of the trivia and the small stuff. So I can definitely see what you're saying. Definitely. We have a comment, I'm getting naturally great and I embrace it. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I love when women do that. And I know what it would look like. Maybe I would go down that path. But to be honest with you, I was not born a redhead. I was born a brunette. But I've been a redhead since my 30s.
Yeah.
Late 20s. I used to dye my hair blue black.
Oh yeah.
Japanese shiny blue black.
Yeah.
I've been coloring my hair since I was in high school. It was never about hair for me. It was just about another way to express myself and
I agree.
sort of be edgy for me, like what I felt good in, what I felt cool in, so the blue black for a long time and red, and I just stayed that way because it's fun. It's like, it's me. And that's
it's a part of your identity too. You just kind of feel like it's just a part of you. So why not continue? I agree. Oh, we have another comment. There is confidence in aging. Absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm confident enough now to say, yeah, it's always been fake. It's still fake. It used to hide brown hair. Now it hides gray hair. What's the difference?
No difference. No difference.
I'm not coloring my hair, or I'm not letting myself go gray because I'm afraid of aging. I'm not letting myself go gray because I like red.
Yeah. It's super pretty. It's such a nice shade. I agree.
Yeah.
So tell us, please, Jack. So you have your in-person event, your trip next year. Do you have any other like online events or any other in-person events that you want to share at this time, or anything coming up in the future?
Well, pay attention because we will be creating more and more events. We did a mastermind style class with Alicia Lincoln, who's out of New York. And she's styled like Carrie Underwood. She has styled, some pretty things for the members. Together an event or a forum that you think would align with the whole mission of normalizing aging and empowering women, then reach out to me. Let's make something happen, because that's also the best part about this, is that it's my business. I can do whatever I want. And it doesn't take a lot to make something happen. I don't have to go through, lots of paperwork and lots of get consensus. No, you and I get together on a Zoom. We talk about it. If it's a good idea, then we say, okay, we'll make it happen. And that's the great thing, is that I have found so many amazing women that have joined forces with me, and they're doers. They make
Yeah.
happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. And and it's just so quick to market. It's just like it's almost on demand even, so definitely. Alicia had me about the closet. She is magic. Oh, cool, cool.
Alicia had a one-on-one with Alicia because she had said something about, oh, like if you get to into your closet and you have trouble finding, like making a decision about what to wear, that it can really impact your whole day. Like that you're sort of starting your day, and oh my gosh, correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia, but like you're kind of starting your day off on the wrong foot if you're struggling. So if you know your closet and you've got your fashion sense down and you feel good about what you're wearing, it starts you off on a good foot. So it's really interesting to, once again, different perspectives. And I want to bring as many different
Totally.
to the community as I possibly can. So yeah.
Yeah, and fashion is so individual, but it's so necessary. I mean, society requires us to wear clothing, so we have to do it.
Old without it, but I mean
Absolutely. So, let's see. Before we go into contact information, are there any other future projects or anything you wanted to mention, or did you want to go straight to how people can contact you to actually create these beautiful events?
yeah, no, let's just get to the contact thing, because I have a lot of stuff in the hopper, and usually what I do in December is when I start to get really strategic about where I want to see Cool Life next December,
Yeah.
right? And then that's so it's interesting because I just being in that business course, and Talisha's part of in that business course with me, that's on the IG Live with us. I realized that I tripled Cool Life this year. I am going to take the next 6 weeks and sort of sit with that and then analyze, okay, is the direction I'm going the right direction? How can I make it better for our community? What are the things, all the things that I should be focused on for next year to make it a more robust experience for us and for all the women that are part of the community? And that's what I'm going to be doing over the next 6 weeks, is spending a little bit more time in my head. But so yeah, if anyone gets inspired by anything that we've said here and they want to communicate and collaborate, reach out. I would love to. I get so much from the women on Instagram and in Clubhouse too. Just we have some amazingly smart women out there who have equally brilliant missions that only just get served better by combining forces. Like I said, the collective power of women, we're unstoppable. Oh.
I agree. And you and I met on Clubhouse, and then we connected almost immediately. And so the best places for people to contact you would be through your Instagram, I guess, messaging system. I would recommend they also follow you over to Clubhouse because you have a lot of high quality conversations going on over there, and the audio apps are getting super popular. So
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend that they follow you over there as well.
If your audience is around on Mondays and Wednesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, we host a room in Second Act Sisters on Mondays and Wednesdays at noon. And I have a team, an amazing roster of mods that when I went to them and said, this is what I want to do, each one have said, yep, I'm part of it. Yep. So we get together and we literally share whatever's going on for us, and we learn from each other. And we're always giggling, but at some point in time there's laughter, because some of the stuff that happens in midlife is pretty comical. And
Yeah.
but we look at it from like the positive viewfinder.
Mhm.
Most of what we talk about is why it's better now, why a particular event or a particular occurrence happened in our viewfinder because of our age makes it much better. And we talk about that, whatever it is, whether it's a loss, or, someone said something not so nice to you, like how you would have reacted maybe in your 20s or 30s or even your 40s. And now that you're
Yeah.
us, that you've been on the planet long enough and you've been around the sun enough that you're like, yeah, it's got to get a lot worse than that for it to get under my skin, right? So, because you
Yeah.
believe you're comfortable. And so
Yeah.
we get together for these chats, these conversations, and they're amazing. They're just amazing. So
I agree. I agree. Now, we have a really interesting comment here. So she said there are items in your closet that you avoid because you don't want to deal with the emotions of the items. Wow.
oh,
I,
okay? Is that what Talisha said? I missed that comment. Yeah. Okay.
so that's
I,
very
I
important. Yeah.
oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. Oh,
Very important. That's a very good point. Thank you for sharing that there. And you have the Second Act Sisters room over on Clubhouse. Awesome. So let's see. For those who are here either live or on the replay, I do want to say thank you so very much for joining us. And I particularly appreciate all of the comments here on Clubhouse. And afterwards, when you watch the replay, if you have any questions or comments for Jack, please put them in the comment section and she'll be happy to answer. And so, Jack, I'm just going to ask you to kind of wrap this all up and put a bow on it for us, please. And just tell us if there's anything else you want to share with us today. Thank you.
yeah. So the big red bow is, I have this vision. It's a pretty grandiose vision, but we can do it because Gen X women and baby boomer women, we outnumber every other cohort on the planet. So that means if we get together and we make noise, we can change. We can actually shift the paradigm for women in the future, for women now and moving forward. So let's do that. Let's normalize aging. Let's just make that happen. Let's just check that. Let's just check that off our list by the time that we're
Done. It's done. It's done.
done here. So I invite all of you to join me. Have me join you. We have to do this together. I don't always have to lead. I'm happy to follow. So if you're passionate and you need some extra noise, please reach out to me too. If you want to join my band, join my band, because it's the table. The table has endless seats, and if I run out of a seat, I'll scoot over. I'll share my chair.
No, but that was beautiful, Jack, because it reminds me of the saying, dream big, or like if someone says, it's almost like, I also like when people say, you're not dreaming big enough, like dream bigger, and I just love that you're so ambitious, you have this vision and this goal, and it's so inclusive. And for those who have granddaughters and daughters, it's so important to have like role models, to reassure them that, hey, the journey is not impossible. It's not excruciating. It doesn't have to be unpleasant, and that their foremothers have, kind of, paved the path for them. And so I really, really think that, that is awesome. Because it's just like, it's almost like, people say pay it forward, but I don't know. It's like pay it forward, pay it backwards. I don't know, but you're definitely doing both, in my opinion. So I think it's just awesome.
Thank you. I want women to be excited about this stage of life. I want women to be going, oh, I can't wait to be 50. 60. Oh, 70s are going to be amazing. I want women to be excited.
I have met so many what we call, senior women, especially on Clubhouse, who come in and speak so I can actually get to know their personalities. And I am blown away by the number of 69-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds who show up, and they are just so vibrant. It's just so beautiful just to hear their energy.
Yes, they're living their cool life, no matter how old they are, right?
I love I love that.
Right?
I love that. They're living their cool life. I love that. So, Jack, I want to thank you so very much for taking the time. I want to thank everyone who joined either live or on the replay. I am going to save this to IGTV, my feed and stories, and then I'll message you after.
Thank you. And my gosh, thank you so much for the invitation. This was so much fun. These feel like parties to me. Like I'm just sitting at that. It's so much fun. So thank you.
For me too. No, it was awesome for me too, Jack. And I will be in touch with you right after I post this on IG, and then I'll message you. So thanks so much again, and take good care. Bye bye. Bye bye.